What is going on, guys? Brandon Connor here, bringing you back another Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile. Now today, we're going to be doing Salamangreats. This is a great budget deck, and it's really competitive, and it does really great at locals and even further beyond that. So, hopefully you guys like this deck profile, and if you do, check out some of my others. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So first up for the Salamangreat package, we have one Gazelle. What Gazelle does is basically when another Salamangreat card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card, and then you just have a free body. What it also does is he's a little bit of a searcher, is when he's sent to the graveyard, you can send a Salamangreat monster from your deck to the graveyard, but with Salamangreats, you can special summon most of your monsters, if not all of them, from the graveyard. So he's really great, and I hope we get him back to more than one. 3 Spinny, because Spinny is fantastic. And basically what this guy does is you can discard him and target one of your Salamangreat monsters, and it will gain 500 attack. But that really doesn't come up a whole lot. You really just want to ditch him, and that's what that effect is for, is to get him into the graveyard from your hand. Because if you control a Salamangreat monster other than Spinny, you get to special summon him. So a lot of the times you'll use him and Gazelle and go into a lot of rank 3 plays, or not even rank 3s because you only play Mirage Celio, but you go into a lot of link plays with these guys. And if you have other level 3s, that's when you go into your Mirage Celio. So yeah, this guy is a 3 of, and he's never going to be cut down because he is such a great asset to the deck. 2 Jack Jaguars. He is a level 4, and he lets you open up into some rank 4 plays. If you control another Salamangreat monster, you can shuffle it back into the deck and special summon this guy from the graveyard. Now, that's not too fantastic, but it's also another way to special summon him. And if he attacks a defense position monster, you can inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent, but that really never comes up. So you really only ever use him to special summon him, and then go into the new rank 4 that we got, or go into more link summons. Zebroid X. But yeah, we got this guy a couple sets ago, and we couldn't really use him because we didn't get any of the we didn't get the new rank 4 for this guy. So we couldn't really run him until now. He's kind of pointless, but now we run him to help give access to our Exceed summon. 1 Salamangreat Foxer, and what this guy does is he basically pops a card in your opponent's field, a spell or trap card, and you ditch him, right? And then you can target a link monster, a Salamangreat link monster in your graveyard, send it back to the extra deck, and then pop one of your opponent's spell or traps, and then special summon him from the graveyard because you ditched him to activate the effect. So I've actually considered bumping him up a little bit, but for right now, 1 works. 1 Falco, just because he comes up sometimes. He's not all that great, but he's great enough that I would still run him at least at 1. Because basically what he does is he recycles some of your spell and trap cards, and then you can return one of your Salamangreat monsters to your hand to special summon him. If you have a great example of this guy would be if you have sorry if you guys heard that. My cat hissed at my other cat for some reason. Anyway, basically what this guy does is he recycles spell cards, and then he can special summon himself by sending a Salamangreat monster back to your hand. And what you usually do with that is you take Spinny and return that to your hand if you special summon him off of his effect so he doesn't get banished. And then you bring this guy out. So yeah, that's why you run 1 of him. 1 Foul. This guy doesn't really come up a whole lot, but same thing with special summoning. It's relative enough that you run 1, and I wouldn't really run more than 1. 3 Foxy. Now Foxy's a really great card. So basically what this guy does is he searches through the top 3 cards of your deck, and if one of them is a Salamangreat card, which pretty much will always be guaranteed, you can add one to your hand and then shuffle the rest back into the deck. And you can also, to special summon him, you can ditch a Salamangreat card and then target one of your opponent's spell or trap cards, destroy it, and then special summon him. So he's really great, and he comes up a lot. 2 Salamangreat circles because it's a Salamangreat deck, and you always run 3 circles. Basically what this guy does is he either searches something, or he can, can make one of your link monsters that use itself. So if you use Heat Leo to go into another Heat Leo, he's going to be unaffected by your opponent's effects. So yeah, hopefully this comes back to 3 soon and I can run 3 of it. 2 Will of the Salamangreat. This card's pretty good. It's a continuous spell card. So what this guy does is once per turn you can special summon a Salamangreat monster from your hand or graveyard. And then you can send this card to the graveyard and target a link monster that used itself as a material. So again, like Heat Leo. And you can send it to the graveyard and special summon as many link monsters as you use to go into that link monster. 1 Salamangreat Sanctuary. This card isn't all that important. It really just use this to use Heat Leo to go straight into another Heat Leo, or a Sunlight Wolf to go into another Sunlight Wolf, and that kind of thing, because you can just use 1 Salamangreat monster as the full material to go into another one. But yeah, so you don't really use this card a whole lot, but it does come up. For the last little bit of the Salamangreat package, we run 2 Roar and 1 Rage. These cards are pretty good, and I consider bumping Rage up to 2. So that really does it for the Salamangreat package. Let's get into the rest of the deck profile. 2 Parallel Exceed. Now basically what this guy does is he special summons himself, and then you use him to go into link plays. He halves his attack when he's special summoned, but that's fine because you're going to be using him to go into link plays anyway. So I don't think I would run this at 3 because 3 can be a little bit cloggy. But I think 2 is the perfect ratio because you get one in your hand, you're not really going to end up with a dead one. And I just think it's an overall great addition to this deck. I run 1 Lady Debug. I've considered bumping this card up to 2. This is a searcher card. When it's normal or special summoned, you can add a level 3 or lower Cyberus monster from your deck to your hand. So yeah, she's pretty good. And yeah, I'm thinking about bumping her up to 2. I run 3 Flame Buffalo and 2 backup secretaries. Flame Buffalo, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can discard 1 card and draw 2 cards. And then backup secretary. Okay, so what backup secretary does is if you control a Cyberus monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. And you can mix this ratio up to whatever you want. If you want to cut it to like 2 and 2, maybe run another hand trap, or 3 and 1, and then run another hand trap, or leave it like this, you can. Obviously, this is the ratio I prefer, but not everyone likes this ratio. So feel free to switch this up as much as you want. But this is the ratio I run. 1 C Archiver, or Archiver. This guy is just another special summon because, you know, you don't want too many normal summons. You want to be able to bring out as many monsters as you can as fast as possible, so you can go into all your link plays. And the only downside is this guy gets banished, but hey, you know, it is what it is, and you'll have better monsters in the field anyway. Next up is hand traps. We run 1 Prohibit Snake. This is a Cyberus hand trap. So basically what this guy does is if your opponent battles a Cyberus monster, you can ditch this card and return your opponent's monster to their hand. And then if this card is in your graveyard, you can banish 1 other card and add a level 4 or lower Cyberus monster from your graveyard to your hand. 3 Ash Blossom, because this is Ash. We all know what Ash does, ditch a card and stop anything coming out of your opponent's deck. So this can be whatever hand trap you want, but I run 3 Ashes. 1 Ghost Spell. I thought about switching this to Ghost Ogre, but Ghost Spell is working for me for right now. So to wrap up the deck with the last couple of spell cards, we run 2 Signet Mining. This should be 3, but I only have 2. This is a great card. What you do with this card is you play it and then you ditch a card, and you can search pretty much any of your Cyberse monsters from your deck to the graveyard. You can add 1 level 4 or lower. Yeah, 1 level 4 or lower Cyberse monster from your deck to your hand. So this is a great searcher card, and it searches the entire deck because the entire deck is level 4 or lower and Cyberse, aside from your hand traps, but there's really no reason for you to be searching them out. 1 Foolish, because like I said, everything in this deck works from the graveyard. So if you need something, you just ditch it to the graveyard and go from there. 1 Reborn, because being able to special summon a monster from your opponent's graveyard or your graveyard is never a bad thing. 1 Twin Twister, because spell and trap removal. I might actually cut this because a lot of the monsters in the deck do target and destroy spell and trap cards. So this is, you know, just a little bit of extra. And 1 Called by the Haunted, because we want all of our plays to go through. So that's it for the main deck. Let's get in this extra deck. 1 Raw-Gestelio. What this guy does is you can special summon a Salamangreat monster to your side of the field by ditching a material. And if he uses link material, he will target a monster on your opponent's field and then send it back to the hand. 1 of the new Exceed monsters. Salamangreat Blaze Dragon. So basically what this guy does is once per turn, if he's about to be destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can detach a material instead. And you can also go into, if it has no materials, you can use it to go into your Raw-Gestelio. And if he has Salamangreat Blaze Dragon as a material, he can destroy 1 card on the field. So that's it for non-link monsters that we play. For all the link monsters that we play, 3 Ballylinks. This is like the Striker Dragon of the deck. I wouldn't run any less than 3. This guy's kind of your starter. You summon a link monster, go into him, and then you just pop off from there, go into your more advanced link summons. 2 Sunlight Wolf and 2 Heatleos. You usually use Sunlight Wolf and then go into Heatleo and then use Heatleo to go into your second Heatleo, because his effect doesn't really pop off until you use him as his own material. And we run 1 Hita, the Fire Charmer Ablaze. This is all we run for the Salamangreats. I would like to run Access Code Talker, but I can't afford it. So this is a great card. And we also run 1 Splash Mage, 1 Update Jammer, 1 Transcode Talker, 1 Topologic, and 1 Firewall Dragon. So I really like this deck. I think this deck is a lot of fun. A lot of your extra deck monsters you run to special summon more monsters so you can link climb into stronger monsters. I think that Topologic I'm going to be cutting for Boral Sword or one of them, maybe Boral End even. And Firewall, I just really liked as a card, and I thought it was fitting for a more link-heavy deck. But yeah, so this was my Salamangreat deck profile. Again, you guys don't have to use this as a definitive all-be end-all kind of deck. I would really take this to be more of a idea and make it your own. So yeah, hope you guys like this. Feel free to check out some of my other videos, and if you like it, remember to like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Thanks, and bye.